Howdy everybody, welcome back to my channel Passion Theory, where I share with you some of my passions, this one being video gaming. We finished this game with Ace, and now I'm going to go load up our game right where we made our choice between Ace and Michael, and we'll see what Michael's path does. So, right here. So we will choose Michael this time. I choose Michael. It seems like such an obvious choice. Michael, of course. The man in question lets out a sigh of relief. When I look at him, he offers me the faintest of smiles. A part of me wants to apologize for Ace for not hesitating a second in disregarding his offer. I hope he doesn't take it personally, as I enjoyed the time we spent together. While I'm obviously curious about him, Michael is the only choice. We're here to complete our heavenly mission together. You wound me, kid. Ace's tone is teasing, indicating that he isn't hurt at all. Sorry. Of course, stick with your regular comrade. You'll miss the fun we had soon. Ace sends an affectionate wink my way, teasing me for my choice. We are not here to have fun, Ace. Right, we're here for our mission, and I'm glad Michael is here to help me. I'm trying to be as upbeat as possible, as I think Ace is trying to get a rise out of Michael. And I know Michael doesn't appreciate Ace's nature. With that resolved, we shall take our leave, Ariel. I glance at Ace, who appears satisfied, or at least accepting of my choice, and Keldrin, who is unamused with the situation, or with Michael's brash interruption. Oh, Michael's leaving. I better go too. Michael's rude. Michael's so rude. I don't really like Michael. Hoping to be friendly, I offer a small smile to the two men before turning to catch up with the fast retreating Michael. I catch up to Michael as he crosses the threshold from the throne room into the unoccupied entryway. Michael! I reach out as I approach the man from behind, hoping to get him to slow down or stop so I can get his attention. What is it, Passion Theory? Michael's tone is harsh, unusual in the way it is directed at me. Michael's usually unfailingly kind and polite with me, but it's easy to tell something isn't quite right. While he seemed relieved at my choice, since that moment he has been abrupt and unsettled. Is everything okay, Michael? Everything is quite fine. That obviously isn't the case. I might not know Michael well enough to be able to determine his thoughts outright, but his behavior is sure a sign that something is amiss. I also know Michael isn't forthcoming with affairs of the heart or mind. His expressions betray the way he truly feels, even though he's not inclined to speak of them out loud. Furrowed brows knitted in frustration, paired with glassy, unfocused eyes. You've been distant and a little rude. More than a little rude. Michael is just rude all around to everybody. Ever doubtful, the idea of him being rude catches his attention, even if it wasn't my intention to chastise him. My apologies, Passion Theory. My mind was elsewhere. Do not worry. I take this opportunity to place a reassuring hand on Michael's arm to show a show of affection, as well as a reminder that I am here for him. I've seen him through his vulnerable moments before, and I hope he can see it is safe to do so once again. Michael's expression lightens upon feeling my touch. I can't help but worry, especially when I know something is wrong. Why when I'm filming do you always have the zoomies? Kitty, please chill out. Oh gosh. Okay, I think the computer's safe. Ah! Mare? Yeah? Okay. I rack my brains thinking of the events that leading up to this moment, wondering what could have Michael feeling this way. Perhaps it's his discordant relationship with his nephew, Keldrin. Is it to do with your relationship with Keldrin? feel like I'm missing something there. I offer up this supposition in hopes that me starting the conversation will make it easier for him. You are correct. It is about Keldrin. You'll have to be patient with me, as there's a lot to explain. That's okay. I renew my reassuring smile, happy to listen to Michael if this will help alleviate his emotional burden. Michael takes a deep breath, steadying himself to open up about what's bothering him. When I first took up my service to the throne, I was not of such high rank. Despite this, I was more than happy with my duties, even though my brothers were taking on bigger roles than I. I didn't know that about Michael, but I suppose it has been such a long time since he was anything other than a high-ranking angel I know him as. I always admired their strength and their devotion, Lucifer in particular, whom I loved dearly. With the mention of that name, Michael's behavior makes more sense. For millennia we carried ourselves dutifully, yet when the rebellion started, and I was betrayed by my brother, even with Michael's steely disposition, he struggles to get through the sentence without issue. My position quickly changed, despite our previous relationship. I knew I couldn't stand idly by as he sought to wreak havoc, so I took up arms in the fight. Lucifer turned away from heaven, the throne, all of us. He does his best to remain composed and strong, but I can hear the waver in his voice and see the tremble in his hands. And he still strays farther from redemption. And he still strays farther from redemption. I fear he is beyond redemption, even if he chose it. I can understand why that betrayal would be. I trail off. My sympathy is heartfelt. I feel at a loss, not knowing a word that would suffice in describing such heartache. I have experience in soothing Michael in times of need. Both cuts and bruises don't come with such an emotional upheaval. This is new territory for us both, but I hope I can offer a positive experience by allowing Michael to talk and being unwavering in my support for him. Once more, Michael steadies himself, and his expression seems more determined.
We must complete the mission.
Lucifer cannot be allowed to cause further harm to heaven or earth. The thought sends shivers up my spine. Does Michael know these butterflies are the work of Lucifer too? You think that he might? There have been new demonic signatures detected that are similar to those seen previously in relation to Lucifer's activities, and there is a possibility that he may be involved
There
here.
we go.
That is why I have joined you. You are more than capable, but I do not wish for you to face this alone. He offers a smile in hopes of reassuring me. Lucifer's involvement in this development, that does add a whole new level of fear and danger, but I'm confident in our abilities. Are you reluctant to trust Keldrin because you think he might be involved too? I am not sure how I will face another betrayal. His unflinchingly honest confession jolts my stomach to a high level of unease and nausea. Yet it is not the act that causes me fear, it is the strain so far from salvation one cannot return. I watch Michael, tears almost warming at my eyes as I share in his pain. I don't know what words of comfort to supply. Keldrin has always been troubled. I do not wish to see another person I care for follow in an irredeemable course. I do not wish for Keldrin to follow his father's path. And you do it out of love? Precisely. When you look at Keldrin, do you see reminders of him? I do. It is not something I often have to face, since Keldrin and I communicate through scroll whenever possible. So coming to Earth and seeing Keldrin face to face is a big deal for Michael. And yet, so far, he's been a big part of establishing ourselves here. It is somewhat difficult. I do not want to place my mistrust onto Keldrin when there is no good reason to. While I cannot directly understand Michael's feelings, I certainly sympathize. I think it's admirable how Michael is making some strides to overcoming his bias towards Keldrin.
There we go.
I appreciate you listening to me. I'm your friend, Michael. I'm always here, and I appreciate you sharing with me. Once more, I rest my hand on Michael's arm and offer a reassuring and affectionate squeeze. I know it might be hard, but I think we should actually head back to Keldrin. I suppose my leaving was abrupt. Yeah, you were kind of rude, dude. Like, oh, I don't want him to turn to evil, but I'm gonna treat him like crap so he doesn't feel like he has any family on this side. So the only place he has left to go is towards the side I don't want him to go. That's not what you do, my man. I don't like Michael. We probably should ask some questions and get some guidance before we go off investigating on our own. Ready to go back? Michael nods resolutely as we return to the throne room to gather more information. Now that we've had our little chitty chat. Welcome back, Fraulein.
Michael.
And you too, Michael. Sorry about that. Do the two of you have fun with your little tits? I don't know how to say that. Whatever your thoughts are, cease them. He thought we had a talk. Chill out, Michael, chill. How do you know what I'm thinking when I haven't even said anything?
No.
I do not know what they are, and I most definitely do not want to know what they are. Chill out. They cannot possibly be anything good, so cease them. Ace only chuckles in response, clearly relishing in the way he irritates Michael. Two of them are complete opposites, and Ace clearly offends Michael's sensibilities. I turn towards Keldrin, refocusing myself. Keldrin, I was wondering if you could help us out with a little something. Oh, is that so? What is it that you'd like to ask? I think that we could use your help. Do you know anything about this whole affair? Anything, you say? Oh, Fraulein, did I not say that communication is highly important between people who are working together? Be more precise. Well, we don't know anything about how the butterflies work apart from the basics and what they look like. Do you know anything about their origin? Something dark passes over Keldrin's eyes, and I scoot a little closer to Michael on instinct.
Watch your tongue.
Is that all you wish to know about? If you can't even do such a simple thing on your own, I will have to question your capabilities. No. It's not a question of capabilities, but information that we do not have. Is that not what you deal in? Indeed, but perhaps there is a little something I can do for you. Something more substantial than input. Wait, really? Of course, despite what I can only assume my uncle's charitable description of me is, I am in quite a helpful mood. It seems both men have their own preconceptions of the other. Only Michael had seen firsthand how accommodating Keldrin was when I first arrived. Only Keldrin knew of Michael's real feelings. If only they would communicate and not be jerk faces to each other, it would be great. Undoubtedly, you are one of the most annoying Nephilim I have ever had the displeasure of knowing. Michael! Punch him! My girl, punch him in the stomach and be like, Michael, stop. Michael's being such a jerk. I can't. Why do I not want to play this route? I shouldn't have forced myself to do it. I hate Michael so much. I know. Meryl. I know. You gonna sit in my lap? Okay. With how you were cooped up in heaven most of the time, just how many Nephilim have you met? More than you know, I can assure you. Oh, come now, Michael. Scrolls of me do not count. Michael, shut up, Michael. Michael bristles, growing more agitated at Keldrin, but the man interrupts him before he can retort. Before I solve this silly issue for you, however, there is one thing that needs to change. He imperiously points to Michael's golden armor. I can't possibly have you going out in what you're currently wearing. If you go out as you are now, you'll probably look like a lunatic at best, and obviously an angel at worst. Although I wholeheartedly disagree with the lunatic part, I I agreed that you probably needed some new clothes, Michael. It was ridiculous the whole way here. We kept getting so many stares. I am aware of that. What do you want to wear? Anything will do. I have no interest. I know it's just a disguise, but it would be nice to put on at least some thought into it. You do have to wear it for a while. Hear a familiar voice from behind. If you're talking outfits, I have just the perfect one. I have no doubt you are less than trustworthy. Oh, how you wound me. I'm not so heartless that I choose something to purposely humiliate you in the public eye. In fact, Keldrin and I worked especially hard to choose the perfect outfit for you. Surely you must be jesting. After glancing at Michael's dour expression, I turn back to Ace. I'm a little apprehensive myself, but I'm trying to remain optimistic. What did you have in mind? I'm probably going to regret this. Here you are. Ace hands Michael a bag, a smile playing on his lips. Taking the bag, Michael peeks inside. I lean over and snatch a glance as well. I suppose this'll do. Wow. With how the clothes are folded, it's hard to tell what they really are. How about you change into them and we can see what it's like? Michael nods, heading to a different room to change. A few minutes pass before he comes back. Oh my gut feeling is right. I'm in a crop top instead. Oh, that's really funny. I can't help but stare at Michael, my mouth slightly agape at the sight before me. Michael, being the one inhabiting the clothes, is the only redeeming feature. Well, what do you think? I think you need to... I laughed so hard I coughed. I think you need to... it's sending a message. You look, interesting? That's at least an accurate way of putting it, with how he is wearing a top that it clearly looks a couple of sizes too short. Is this a fashion on Earth? I can't help but think that, despite the ridiculousness of the outfit, it looks rather dashing. When I look over at Ace with incredulity in my eyes, Ace simply shrugs, like he's containing laughter. Keldrin isn't any better. You look much better. I wouldn't have it any other way. Wait! I say we need to spoil our cool Archangel. Ace approaches Michael and puts a pair of sunglasses on him. Is this how he's going to be dressed the rest of the game? Please tell me no. Please tell me we get a better outfit. I can't. I cannot. So this is how humans normally dress. It appears they enjoy indulging in interesting fashion. Okay, this guy here, Keldrin, he be all telling Michael not to wear armor, but he's wearing, like, freaking greaves. Not greaves, but he's wearing armored thigh-high shoes. Like, what the... This is how humans normally dress. It appears they enjoy indulging in interesting fashion. Right? You can go out into the streets now and flaunt yourself. This is the current trend. It's so not. Is it really, though?
Michael.
Now that that's resolved, it's time for me to prove my loyalty to you, Uncle. Michael takes off his sunglasses, still disbelieving of Keldrin. Stop being a jerk. And just how do you plan to show your loyalty, Keldrinon? Oh. Keldronanon? That's rather serious. Keldrin glares at Ace before he squares off facing Michael. I may be able to capture one of those blasted bugs of yours, if that'll cease your doubts concerning me. Everyone, including Ace, is visibly shocked by this statement. I feel Michael stiffen next to me. As this goes contrary to his belief, he must be completely taken aback. How is that possible? Let's not worry about the details, shall we? You want your proof? Give me a moment, and you'll have it. Hang on, Kel. This can be... It will be all right, Ace. Just leave this to me. Despite his confident tone, I have a bad feeling about this. The butterflies must be dangerous, and yet Caldron is going to simply capture one? Caldron starts to turn to leave and enact his plan, but Michael stops him. Wait, I will come with you. As well. Passion Theory. Of course I will. I'm just being dragged along. I have no say in anything I do. Yes, sir, Michael, sir. Makes sense to witness the scene. As seeing is believing, and if Michael wants me there, I feel compelled to come along. I really don't. Not to worry, I'm not planning to try to catch the butterfly out in the open, so this little show is exclusively for you and your friend, Uncle. You had better not deceive us, Keldron. Michael's distrust is still palpable, which is understandable, considering what he told me. I don't want him to go to the dark side, so I'm going to constantly treat him as if he's already there. It makes perfect sense. But I hope this can convince him to be open-minded about Keldron, even just a little, if that will help soothe his worry. With a small seed of hope planted in my heart, my eyes follow Keldron as he moves to the open window. He closes his eyes, standing completely still. Neither I nor Michael dare interrupt him. We observe as Keldron whispers something inaudible to himself. A few moments pass before his outstretched hand begins to glow a faint black and red. That...
Oh?
Demonic energy? Well, yeah, he's half. Despite this development, Michael's voice remains calm and his expression cool, giving him a noble air befitting an angel, but I can still feel a hint of surprise. Keldron is capable of using demonic powers clearly, but with angelic blood flowing through his veins, I believe it also has a high risk of harming his body. Of course, or worse, he may become fallen. Keldron's figure doesn't waver, but upon closer inspection, he seems to be breaking out in a sweat, the energy taking somewhat of a toll. He's exerting quite a lot of demonic power. Is he going to be alright? Despite his nature and the suspicions cast upon him, I'm still worried about him. I'm about to warn Keldron to listen to his body, but I stop when I see a certain flutter of crimson. That's... a butterfly. Or should I say, the butterfly? Michael's tone drops. He doesn't bother to conceal the grimness of his voice. Michael's making such an expression is quite the statement. That butterfly's energy is quite strong. I stare at the butterfly until it rests itself on Keldron's index finger. The butterfly's crimson wings contentedly flap up and down. It's practically thriving off that demonic power emanating from Keldron.
Well then.
Are you going to catch the butterfly while still here? I have no plans on holding this forever. Right. Every second of me staring at the butterfly is another second of Keldron suffering under the burden of demonic powers. I grab the box I brought with me from heaven, opening the lid and approaching the butterfly cautiously. When I feel that I'm close enough, I sweep the butterfly into the box without touching it, promptly sealing it so that it can't escape. Suddenly taken away from its little paradise, the butterfly struggles uselessly, unable to break free. Ugh. Poor Keldron. Keldron's hand is no longer emitting that glow, but his complexion has visibly paled. Aww. It's his freaking nephew, and he should take care of it. And he is the one that asked him to do this nonsense. He should be helping. Keldron has gone out of his way to offer his help to us, and now he's weakened and injured as a result. I approached Keldron, wanting to make sure he isn't in grave danger, and gesture for Michael to approach too. Are you okay? Has the demonic energy harmed you? Concern is clear in Michael's voice. It is nothing I can't handle. I appreciate your efforts, Keldron. For a moment, the two men consider each other, whatever animosity they had abating in this moment. Well, unlike certain angels, I'm a very busy man. Enjoy your little bug gift. Despite the clear exhaustion settling on his face, Keldrin turns to leave with the same composed poise as before. Ace appears frustrated at the turn of events, as well as concerned for Keldrin's well-being. He rushes after the form of the retreating man. I hope he'll be okay. I'm sure he will. I turn to Michael, butterfly box in hand. Michael, you really need to wear something else. Keldrin will be fine. He has angelic blood in it and is stronger than you know. I would be concerned too if it were not for his power. Nodding in response, I raise the box so I can see the butterfly more clearly. Once struggling, it now seems to have accepted its fate of being sealed inside the box. Now that we have the butterfly in our possession, we can take a closer look. What do you think? Michael peers inside the box too, observing the look of the butterfly. Examining the pattern on its wings, this could be tied with an incubus or succubus. The markings would suggest such a thing. Keldrin had similar thoughts about the wishes being manifestations. This would seem to confirm it. The butterflies are a way for the concubi to collect desire. Right. I'm glad we have a better idea of what we're working with, even if it's such a horrible thing. There is still a lot for us to learn. Do we have a place to retire to? Keldrin set up a place for me. I imagine there will be a place for you there too. Keldrin seems to own the complex. Michael takes in the ostentatious surroundings, then considers what I have said and rolls his eyes. Lead the way. Alright, I think we're going to stop for today, because I can only take so much of Michael. Alright, everybody, remember to make room for your own passions. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.